This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN.Live, and we're at the LD Micro Invitational 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me right now is Mike McMullen from QS Energy, publicly traded company. The symbol is QSEP. Mike, welcome to SNN.Live.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you on. So for our audience, let's start off with an overview of the company.
All right. Well, QS Energy is a technology company in the oil services industry. We're based out of Houston, Texas, and we have a technology that reduces the viscosity of heavy crude oil.
So let's get a history of the company. When did it start, and how did you develop to where you're currently at today? Some of the main points.
Sure. We've got a long history. The company started in 1998, developing technologies and tech transfer from the university setting. The current technology was developed at Temple University by Dr. Tao. It's a technology using Electro Rheology to reduce the viscosity of heavy crude oil, solid state tech, no moving parts. From our purposes, it installs directly into a pipeline, does not interrupt the flow of the crude oil.
And Mike, how does the company's technology work?
Well, it works through a process of what's called Electro Rheology. The heavy crude oil passes through an electric field. It's high voltage but very low amperage in the milliamp range. And what happens is, it's interesting, the random particles, the asphaltenes and other products, tend to, as it goes through the electric field, the particles align into linear strings as opposed to being random, and those linear strings literally just flow in the direction and reduces the viscosity. It's a temporary process, lasts for 24 hours up to 100 hours.
So what I now want to know is what makes the company unique and different from maybe some of your peers in the market?
Well, in terms of peers in the market, there really is no technology that reduces viscosity of heavy crudes. It's all done with additives, by adding a diluent such as a condensate or by adding a drag reduction agent. Ours is again passing the heavy crude oil through an electric field to reduce the crude oil, temporary effect, and you wind up with effectively the same crude that you started with.
So I have to ask, for those who may not know, why do you need to thin crude oil?
This is the heavy, thick crude oil, not the stuff you put in your car. This is the stuff that drives industries for plastics, etc. And heavy crude, when you put it in a pipeline, it's hard to push. So what they do is they add a diluent to it. They add, for example, a condensate. It's like adding gasoline. It makes it thinner. The problem is, though, that gasoline that you add is highly volatile, and it creates an environmental issue. So, for example, right now, some of the larger companies out there, the pipeline companies, are having to install cooling stations on the pipelines as demanded by the EPA to cool the temperatures down so they don't off-gas the gasoline effectively. These cooling stations cost in the neighborhood of $150 million each. So it's a big cost savings. But also from our perspective, it's all about getting the crude oil to market without having to dilute it and then having to pay the cost of adding, not just adding the diluent to it, but then transporting that diluent. So quick example, if you have a pipeline that's doing 100,000 barrels a day, and you're paying $5 a barrel. Of that, if 1/3 of that is a diluent that you're adding, you're paying in the neighborhood of $1.65 to $2 a barrel to transport something you don't want to bring to market. We can help eliminate that cost.
Got it. So then, right now, where is the company at currently in terms of putting your technology out there on the market? Do you have test cases? Tell me a little bit more.
Oh, great question. Actually, we have a demonstration project that has been installed, and we're expecting to start operations as early as next week. It's on a major pipeline in the southern United States, and we're really excited to see the results.
And what's your background? I mean, how did you come into all this?
I've got a long background where in the energy industry, probably the most relevant is work I did in the energy industry doing tech transfer from Sandia National Labs of a new wind turbine technology, working with a group of people. I helped to manage the tech transfer and the acquisition of new technologies. We did developments in California and then eventually off into China and India, and then sold that company off. Moved into in the technologies industries in San Francisco, was CFO of a tech company there that we then sold to a NASDAQ 100 company. And I've been working in and around the energy industry ever since.
And then from what you can tell me as a public company, what are some of the company's growth drivers now moving forward?
Well, the biggest growth driver really is this demonstration project and where we go from there. Our partner has certain needs on the line that we're going on to, and we hope to expand our demonstration project into additional installations on that line in the very near future. They also have operations in Canada where they have very heavy crudes coming out of the tar sands. Again, those operations are interested. We have a number of companies out of South America that are planning to come out and see the demonstration project when we have it up and running. You have entire economies, Colombia and Ecuador, where the amount of heavy crude that you can get to market is driving their economy. So reducing the viscosity, allowing them to deliver more oil to the market is vitally important to them.
And where can our audience go and find more information about the company?
Well, our website is QSEnergy.com.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN.Live. We're at the LD Micro Invitational 2019 in Bel Air, California. With me again has been Mike McMullen from QS Energy, publicly traded company. The symbol is QSEP. Mike, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much.